want to share with you my story, because in my story, it leads me to why I believe so much in happiness. And quite honestly, why I believe so much in people. And like I said earlier, I've been really blessed. I've really been blessed in my life. And I've never thought that the successes that came my way was because I was better than anybody else at the business model I was in. I always felt like I was better than most people in getting people to do the business model. You see, your attitude in your life is created by one thing. It's called your philosophy. And I'm going to talk a lot about that. Happiness is a philosophy. Happiness is an attitude. And I'm going to share with you why I embrace it and believe in it so much. Philosophy is everything you know, how you hold it, how it affects what you do. And so your philosophy forms how you do the hows. Your philosophy is everything you know, and it comes from life experiences. I just had a life experience. It comes from associations, but it's also formed by information. The books you read, the tapes you listen to, the seminars you attend. I took the lesson of the C student who became an A student, wasn't any smarter, that just changed their attitude from life experiences and associations, and all of a sudden the same person became successful, and I took that and applied it to the people that worked for me. When everybody else was working on the hows, I was working on the philosophy and attitude. See, if you have good philosophies, it turns into a positive philosophy, that will turn into a positive attitude. When you have positive attitudes, that turns into positive actions. That's what everybody focuses on, how to do it, how to do it, how to do it. You have to know how to do it. I agree with that. You have to be good. You have to be competitive at how to do it. But what the unfair advantage, the unspoken advantage, in my opinion, is not the hows, it's how you do the hows. So when you're driving an organization, whether it's a business, a university, the military, the government, whatever that organization might be, synergy, people coming together, like-minded people going in a like direction. You know, not just two minds creating a third more powerful mind, but maybe hundreds of minds or thousands of minds creating a much more powerful mind. Okay, going in a like direction. When you can embrace that power, I believe there's more power there than there is over here in the hows. Because the hows are pretty much, you can hire people out of school to do them, okay? And personal development was kind of my gateway into happiness. And I've just always believed that, not just the life experience, not just associations, but the books you read, the tapes you listen to, the seminars you attend. Culture is the combined philosophy and attitude of your people. Culture defines you. It's like the DNA of a person. Culture is the DNA of a business. And when a company has a positive culture, guess what it does? It attracts positive people. It attracts who you are and repels who you're not. It's just important to keep away, weed your garden, as it is to bring people in. Something that we all care about is our health. And we all attribute health to exercise and diet, and I agree with those things, okay? But there's a medical journal that came out with a report that studied the 25 longest living civilizations on this earth. And they found the number one thing that determines whether you live to be over 100 is positive outlook on life, your philosophy, your attitude. And what I love about that, it's just 10 pages of a good book a day away. It's just 15 minutes in your car, turn off that stupid radio full of all that stuff you don't need, and just listen to 15 minutes of a good tape. Let's go to a seminar here and there. Let's associate with positive, like-minded people who are doing the same thing you're doing, and let life experiences start shifting for you. And when you do that, all of a sudden it creates success. See, here's how most people think life works, especially when it comes to happiness. And you heard this today. When I'm financially successful, I'll be happy. When I'm healthy, I'll be happy. When I have great relationships, I'll be happy. When something happens to me, I'll be happy. And what they've proven through all this research is it's the other way around. Number two thing you find from the research on positive psychology or happiness is that actually it's easy to obtain. And the other thing is said is happiness is not about big things that happen to you. And I love that. You know, when Napoleon Hill wrote the book Think and Grow Rich, he studied the 500 most successful people, found the 13 things they have in common. He said the number one thing you have to be successful is desire. Desire is what gets you up early, keeps you up late, and gets you to do things that other people are not willing to do, because there's going to be obstacles. The number two thing he said was you have to have faith. You have to have faith in what you're doing is going to achieve what you desire. The third one, to me, was the biggest one of all 13. He said the 500 most successful people on this earth, studying them for 20 years, what they did consistently every single day is they out loud said what their goals were. Because they understood the biggest friend and the biggest enemy you got is your subconscious brain. Your subconscious brain is 90% of your brain. It drives your conscious brain, what you do, what you see. And it's on all the time. And the problem is in our society, if you just let it all in, you will have a negative subconscious. The negative subconscious brain is much more powerful than the positive subconscious brain. I'm not trying to be negative here, I'm just being honest. You do not have to seek out negative. It's in abundance out there. But guess what? You have to, with willpower, consciousness, determination, seek out positive. You got to go find it. And that's why they said it out loud to them twice a day. And only few people get the secret. That when you shift your philosophies and shift your attitude and shift your happiness, all of a sudden you'll have the things you want. It's been proven clinically, brain scans, it's been proven beyond a shadow of doubt. It's not up for question. But if you walked out to the world and this ever exists, how many people really are aware of that? Not that many. So if there's this many people, but this many people aware of it, how much does it exist? Only this much. So number one, we got to shift the awareness. Just get people to know about it. But number two, you got to shift the accessibility to the information. See, if this many people are aware of it, but only this many people can access it, then how much it exists? This much or this much? It's access. But the neatest thing that we here bring to it is the biggest thing, in my opinion, that shifts people. It's the same thing that creates culture. It's the same thing that's built my great corporations and allowed me to have the blessings I've had. Is and if you talk to anybody here that's part of my business or businesses, they'll tell you that, yeah, we work on the product and we work on these things, but we work just as hard on purpose and meaning, philosophy and attitude and happiness, and we work just as hard on environment and associations. I believe, like I said earlier, it's the group that comes together that makes a difference. My biggest gift I can give you to you today is, I agree you got to be good at the house. Whatever you're making, however you're selling it, how you're competing. But if you'll just back up and work on the greatest asset you got, which is the culture, the collective philosophy, the collective attitude, the collective happiness of your people, and bring them together and get that synergy, the power of a group of people could go much further than an individual can go to. You guys have a blessing. You have the secret weapon that all the other people out there don't have. The difference between who I am now and who I want to be, you can't even see the movement. If I don't read 10 pages, I'm not really any worse. See, the difference between doing the proper activity and not doing the proper activity is insignificant in the moment. But the moment is the only thing you got. And successful people string the moment together consistently and persistently over a long period of time, cultivating till they get to what they want. That's a philosophy. The successful people do the little things that seem to make no difference at all in the act of doing them. They just do them over and over and over and over and over when the whole world around you is making fun of you. Believe me. My closing message to every one of you, and I'm sorry I talked long, I just found that out, but I really believe every person here, number one, you wouldn't be here if you weren't something special. Every person here has within them the gift to become a better version of themselves. But quite honestly, you have the gift to make other people better. And I don't think it's just an opportunity. I think it's a responsibility. See, how I look at everything, I do everything because it's the right thing to do, because it's just the right thing to do, but it's also the smart thing to do. If you really care about your organizations, the smartest thing you can do is put in these philosophies and attitudes in your business, because it is the unfair advantage. It's not only the right thing to do for your people, but it's the smart thing to do. Okay, so with that, thank you all, bless you all, and I guess I'll stay up here and take some questions. Thank you. Thank you.